At the beginning of the film, we observe the main character, who is looking pensively out the window of the rushing bus. The girl is a little nervous, and her legs begin to shake. She takes a mirror out of her purse and retouches her makeup. The girl hears a little girl being told off by her mom for being hungry. She takes out her phone and decides to call her mom. The woman is very worried about her daughter and asks when she will come home. The girl promises that she will be home soon and asks her mother to read the letter she has received. The woman doesn't want to do it and says that the girl's father got angry when the woman sent a lawyer to him. That is why the man sent the threatening letter. The girl asks for the father's address so she can deal with him. At the same time, the girl clutches an axe in her hand, which will help fulfill her plan. Her mother doesn't advise her to take risks since the man once broke her back. Soon she reaches the town of Golden, where her father lives. At the entrance, the girl encounters the local sheriff, who has been following her and offers to drive her. The girl continues to wander through the gloomy streets, passing crumbling buildings and an abandoned school. Even on the main street, everything looks deserted and eerie. She decides to enter a cafe to find information about her father's house. On the way, she is nearly run over by a guy named Charmer. He apologizes, saying he was listening to a song on the radio. Inside, everyone looks unfriendly at the girl who enters. She learns from the bartender that any address can be found in a book by the phone. Soon she finds the place where her father James lives. The girl decides to sit at the bar for a while, which turns out to be a mistake. The girl is persistently harassed by one of the customers, who pushes the approaching woman away. Betty mentions that she knows James, although he is rarely in establishments. A drunken man falls on the character, but she gets her weapon and leaves the bar. Soon the girl reaches James's house. She calls out to the man, however, no one appears. Then the girl decides to go inside uninvited. She explores the rather dirty and strange dwelling. Finding no one inside, the girl decides to look in the barn. It is there that the girl discovers her hanging father, who has been cruelly massacred. The girl cries and says that someone has already done what she herself was about to do. She goes outside and decides to call 911, but she has no reception. Outside, the girl notices a hamster running on a wheel. She returns to the house with the pet and feeds it some canned fruit. The girl then returns the hamster to its cage. She gets to the sheriff's workplace, but he is not there. The girl comes to a bar and finds out that the whole town is in a dark zone, which means that there is no cellular network here. The bartender jokes that the girl would be quicker to find the sheriff here than at his workplace. The man also says that he guessed the girl and James's kinship. The bartender urges the character to go home. The girl talks to her mother on the landline. The woman is frightened by the news and asks her daughter to return home. However, the girl is determined to first find out who hung up her father. She talks in a bar with a strange man who fears that he and his daughter will be swallowed up by the scary city. The character advises the stranger not to sit still, drinking at the bar, but to pack up and leave. The girl is then approached by Betty, who tells her that her eyes are exactly like James'. However, when the girl asks if the woman knew her father, the woman acts strangely and leaves. The girl runs out of the bar and goes to the sheriff's office. However, his door is closed again. Standing outside, the character realizes that she has soiled her hoodie with red liquid when she took her father off the hook. The girl goes to the laundry. There she again encounters Charmer, who is talking incessantly. Guy mentions that the town was founded by a few families, so now its residents essentially often marry their distant relatives. Charmer is convinced that an unhealthy sense of love permeates this place. The guy also notices an axe in the girl's bag. The girl tells him that her father taught her how to throw it when she was 6 years old, and then they stopped seeing each other. She even shows the guy her talent. The girl tells that she really likes the forest. She would even live there if she didn't have to take care of her mom. When things are done, the character changes her clothes. Charmer offers to shake hands to seal the acquaintance. The girl suddenly notices a watch with her father's initials on it. At the same moment, Charmer attacks her. The character escapes the molestation and soon hovers over the guy with an axe. At this moment, the sheriff enters the laundry. The girl tells him that Charmer is guilty of killing her father and stealing his watch. The sheriff asks the girl to put down the axe and promises to sort it all out. The man puts her in the back seat of the car. The sheriff tells her that he and Charmer are stepbrothers. In the city, they are often called brothers. The girl remembers that the bartender advised her to stay as far away from them as possible. Charmer says they will take a ride to James's house, for there is money hidden there. This was mentioned in the letter that the man sent to his ex-wife. The main character doesn't understand how the sheriff and his brother knew about the letter and her arrival. Soon the car stops in front of James's house. Charmer chains the girl in the garage next to her father. The sheriff indirectly confesses that he was involved in what happened to James. He also mentions his sister, who drunkenly fell out of the trailer. The man asks the girl where her father's money is. The sheriff is convinced that this girl has come to their town just to get her hands on her inheritance. The man punches the girl in the face and then starts threatening her with more scary things. The terrified girl says they are hidden under the bath. Charmer goes into the house to check it out. The sheriff follows him to do a better search of the tiles. At this time, the girl pulls the saw up to her and frees her hands. The sheriff sees the girl running away and injures her. Charmer, on the other hand, goes in search of the fugitive on a motorbike. The guy almost catches up with his target in an open field. However, the girl pushes Charmer off the motorbike and rides away on it herself. Night falls. The girl decides to bandage her wound on her arm with a sock to avoid infection. She then makes her way through the back door to a bar, where Betty is sitting at one of the tables. The bartender tells her that the brothers have been pressing on the townspeople for years. A man himself has tried to learn their secrets, for which he lost his toes. The bartender advises the girl to leave town on the first bus. However, she persists in trying to find out the address of the brothers. After getting information and some drinks from the bartender, the girl wanders through the deserted and gloomy streets. Finally, she reaches the brothers' house. Taking a sip of her drink, the girl goes to the door and arms herself with an axe. She goes into the kitchen where Charmer is standing at the cooker. The boy begins to tell her that at the age of 14, he seduced all his female teachers and even the director. Charmer promises that he can protect the girl, and then she won't have to be strong and brave to fight the world. However, she persistently asks only how the guy knows her family. Charmer ignores this question and even decides to attack the girl, but she stabs the guy with a knife and pushes him back to the cooker. This causes Charmer's dressing gown to catch fire. Turned into a living torch, the guy runs through the rooms and falls in the corridor, trying to put out the fire. The girl observes with horror what is happening. Then the girl notices the sheriff returning home. She unnoticeably sneaks outside and starts Charmer's car. The sheriff notices the girl driving away and sets off in pursuit of her. At sharp turns, the character tries to get away from the pursuer, but he keeps on her tail. The girl decides to stop the car and try to hide between the houses. The sheriff walks along the street, focusing on the slightest rustle. The girl manages to remain unnoticed thanks to Betty, who arrives. At home, the woman says that James loved his daughter very much. The character screams that this is a lie. At the age of 6, she, together with her ill mother, got stuck on the street. The girl, from an early age, had to sell herself to feed her family. Betty tells that her father repented. For the rest of his life, he worked hard and saved money to give his daughter a better future. Betty believes that the girl destroyed her father without even knowing it. In addition, the woman tells that the brothers are actually the character's uncles on her mother's side. Betty hides the girl when the sheriff comes to her. The woman then asks the girl to leave town as soon as possible so as not to put herself in danger. At parting, Betty gives the girl a photo, which was very carefully kept by James. On it, the character sees a small self with an axe standing next to her father. The girl decides to return to James's house again. She takes up arms, but accidentally drops a glass object on the floor. Because of this, she is easily noticed by the sheriff, who appears. The man pushes the girl into the bathroom and threatens her with death. The girl swears that she doesn't know where the money was hidden by her father. The sheriff advises her to find it before her mom gets here. The man also tells her that he used to be a priest. However, the character's mother started spreading rumors about him, and he was removed from the church. The girl takes advantage of the sheriff's confusion and runs outside. She manages to throw an axe straight at the man. Then the girl guesses where the money might be hidden. She moves away from the stump on which her father had an axe and starts digging the ground under it. After a few minutes, the girl discovers a bag with a lot of bills inside. She cries, realizing that her father really loved her and wished her a better life. The girl sincerely repents that she was going to hurt him. At the same moment, her mother's car pulls up to the house. The daughter accuses the woman of being the one who sent the brothers to James. In addition, the girl realizes that the sheriff has been talking about how her mother fell out of the back of the truck drunk. The daughter accuses the woman of slandering her father by saying that he hurt her back. The girl threatens her mother with an axe, but then lets her go. The next day, the character gives Betty her father's watch, as well as his hamster and some money. The girl also leaves money with the bartender and is about to leave town. A man, who is determined to save his young daughter from the influence of the terrible city, also gets on the bus with the girl. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.